Hi, and welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about dating a working girl. And I don't mean a actual really working kind of girl. I mean an actual girl with a job. Of course, we can discuss the other a little bit too. In Asia, it's very common for them to work long days. So let's say you're meeting a girl, let's say she's working at a mall or she's working at a fruit stand, working in a restaurant, working in a massage parlor even, some people pick them up anywhere, or a 7-Eleven girl, those girls have to work. They really don't have time for dating and playing around. They work every day. They don't get a day off. Not most, but a lot of them that I've talked to, in fact 100% that I talked to did. The one girl I did have dinner with, I talked to her, she worked construction. And I asked her, when's your day off? And she goes, she don't get a day off. I said, no, a day off? You work every day? And she said, yes, they work every day. I said, could you take a day off? And she says, yeah, if I quit or something. Maybe I lost something in the translation, but she definitely said she had to work every day. She didn't start too early. It was 8 o'clock. She worked, and I think till 6, 8 to 6, I believe. And so, and that's every day. So she had a full-time job. How is she going to have time for a boyfriend? She had time for dinner with me. I could tell she was pretty tired. It looked like the end of the day for her. So that's another thing. And then this other girl, I was in getting a haircut, and she was real friendly to me, and really, we kind of hit it off. She was a good-looking lady, too. And she was saying her English was pretty bad, but she could get a few phrases across to me. And one was she worked every day, and that was the one she made. And she kind of gave a mean look to her boss over that wasn't looking. She kind of glanced at her in kind of a jokingly pissed off way and said she never gets a day off. So that's another thing. And I see her opening her shop at about 8 o'clock in the morning again, and they rent motorcycles, and they rent scooters, and they cut hair. And so she's there every day, and I imagine till 8, 6 or 8, probably 8 or later. They soy 94. Everything stays open a little later there, so I'm sure they put in a full day. And she said same thing. She has to work every day. How do you fit a girl in your schedule like that? You can go out on evening dates, but she's got to get ready. In fact, she can't even do that every night. She's got to go home and do laundry. And, even a lot of them on the weekends, that's what they got to do. If they worked all week, they got to stay home and do laundry and clean the house and things, and go shopping. But here, these women work every day, and they got to go home and do their laundry after work. So it's pretty difficult to find time for you. And a lot of them, they're not making much. So you might have a girlfriend that says that, she's working and she's got a job and she's real happy with her job. And you're like, oh yeah, and then how much do you make? And, she brings home maybe $6 to $8 a day. And she's gone 12 hours or 10 hours anyway, a day gone. And you're like, wow, it'd almost be better if I gave you the $6 and you just stay home, and not quit your job. And that's what a lot of them end up doing. But then again, that woman's dependent on you forever then. You just took away her way to make a living. And a job's not easy in certain parts of Asia, like in Philippines. You have to have a bachelor's degree to work at a counter in a supermarket. It's crazy. They pick right from the top. They'll say what age they want, 18 to 24, and must have a bachelor's degree or something, all college educated, just to be a cashier at a supermarket or anywhere, actually anywhere in a mall. Anyone you're dealing with at the counter is probably a college educated girl. So, you've got to, if you take her away from her support, which is her $6 a day, but it's enough to buy her rice and some for the family, when they need pork and chicken, and buy a few things, that's enough. It'll help with the family. But if you take her out of that situation, make her fully dependent on you, and then, you end up dumping her or something and it didn't work out, she's back with no job, and that can be a real down kicked down to be losing your job, and she thought she had a life with you, it was going to be easy life, so that kind of soured her up, and they get pretty nasty. Some can, I'm not saying from experience, but I imagine they could be. I would feel pretty pissed off if somebody made me quit my job and then all of a sudden I'm broke and nothing, and you know, that person left. So that's just something you got to think about. And it's more here in Asia than anywhere, because here they work such long hours and they don't get a break. That's, you know, right through, they work every day except the actual holidays. Here they probably work every holiday too. You know, they don't probably get any. I know in the Philippines they get a few off, but not many. But over there they're working 12 hours a day and they're making very little money, and it's almost better to not have them, you know, have them working. But then again, you better be prepared to support them forever if you take them away from that money-making situation, make them dependent on you. Here in Thailand, you know, it's the same. These women work pretty hard. The women are real hard working here. They're all running some kind of stands or something. It seems like they're trying to get out anyway. But you know, it's different here in Thailand a little bit too. A lot of these working girls are actual working girls, and that's another thing to consider. Do you want to date a working girl? And how do you know? You know, you pick them up on the dating site and you don't know who she is. If you meet her in the public, you really don't know who she is if she smiles. And I guess you're going to find out at some point during the night if she's going to give you the time of day. You're going to find out if you have a working girl or not. But you know, even in Thailand, here in Hue Hin, I've heard, I don't know, rumors, this could be true, not true. I don't even remember where I heard it, read it, maybe saw it on the internet. But it said a lot of the prostitutes from other parts of Thailand, like Bangkok, will actually come here to retire and try to find a Falang here to marry, since there's so many here. And they're retired, so you never know. You know, are you going to marry or be dating a retired prostitute from Bangkok, or you just never know what you're going to get. So you really kind of, the dating odds are up against you. You're going to have to take a chance one way or another. And then there's the language barrier, of course. If you find one that speaks English, that's another good thing. But then again, that probably means she was working somewhere around a lot of foreigners, where that could mean a bar or something like that too. So that's another thing. You're just, the cards are stacked against you here, unless you're just going to pay for play. And that's, I guess, what everybody does. I'm holding out. I'm going to find a good girl, if there is one, or one that wants to be good. We'll see. In no hurries anyway. And it'll be fun. I'm going to keep my eyes open and try to weed them out the best I can before I actually commit to any time with anyone here. I'm going to make sure that they are who they are if I can, and it's pretty easy to kind of weed them out. They'll eventually show what they are and who they are without you ever having to even have dinner. But I'm open to have dinner with someone just to figure out who they are. That'll be fun too. But anyway, that's my thoughts on a working girl here. My point is that these girls are going to be working long hours. If you're going to approach a girl that's working at a counter or something, remember, she's going to be there tomorrow. She's got to be there the next day. Maybe she's lucky and gets a weekend off or a Sunday off. That's not all, you know, not all jobs work 7 days a week, but I think a lot of them work probably, you know, since it's mostly Buddhist here, they don't really consider Sunday a holy day or Sabbath or anything like that. So it's just another day. So I'm guessing they just work it just like any other day. So, and it seems to be the case every day here. I really can't tell the difference in the vibe. The weekend's coming up. It does get a little more noisy. I hear a few more bands in the weekends coming up, but generally it stays in the kind of a mellow place all day and all evening. It's lively in the evening and mellow during the day mostly. So that's one thing to consider anyway when you get here. Remember, if you're going to approach a girl at the counter, she's going to have to work. And if she's not working at a counter, where does she work? You know, that's another thing you got to think about. What did you do for a living here? You know, and hopefully she has a good excuse, you know, other than being a working girl. So that's my thoughts on working girls anyway. I'll keep you posted if I have any new epiphanies. Thanks, and appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.